What's up, Epic 7? TristenWulf here, bringing you a Trial of the Constellations full auto video. Almost full auto. I mean, it's going to be full auto for the ones we're covering. We'll be covering the Fire Constellation, we'll be covering the Earth Constellation, and yes, even the Water Constellation, all on full auto. To date, there is no full auto team for Light and Dark yet. Still working on it, but the difficulty is that Dark requires you to target enemies and Light requires you to soul burn, and it's just difficult to do. The entire mechanics of these two fights really preclude being able to do them on full auto. But hey, you know what? Red, green, and blue on full auto, we take a thing. Now, you probably are going to want to be 1 or 2 months into Constellations to be able to do this, because you're going to need your Constellations to look like this. Everybody should start out with 1 in Libra, Virgo, Aries, and Leo. You get that for free, and all of your Constellations points after that should go into Gemini and Sagittarius. You will want these maxed out to be able to do Light and Dark easily. If you don't have them maxed out, it's a little bit of a struggle. Once you got both of these maxed out, then you can start focusing on Virgo. You want to get Virgo up to the second one. Attack of the Thief in the front row is up by 50%. This is important for the full auto. Beyond that, if you have got it, go ahead and slap some extra ones into Leo. 5% more attack, 5% more speed, getting some souls at the start of the battle. All of these are kind of nice, so I would focus on Leo after that. And then after that, almost everything beyond that is making Perdition easier. 50% decreased attack in Perdition. And these are what you want to work on so that next time around, maybe you can take your swing at beating Perdition level. Okay, enough about how to set up the Blessing of the Stars. Let's get into these fights. First things first, we're going to go into Magnar. Magnar is probably the easiest one to full auto. You're going to run an Aether with no gear. He's there just for the attack imprint. Make sure his attack print is on. We're going to run Shepherd Jenna, again with no gear. She is just there with the attack for the attack imprint. And we're going to run Ronvald, who is also no gear. He's just there for the HP imprint. There are other options. You can run Furious for a crit chance imprint to make it a little bit easier to build your Fene. Anybody you can find that's got flat attack or flat HP. Fene benefits more from flat than percentage, and you want these guys to die, so make sure they're all level 50 and naked. Next is Fene. Simple Fene. Just throw some damage gear on her. I went in and hit the manage equipment button, said find me Destro gear and pen set, put it on her, and a DPS artifact would be better if you're struggling for damage. I stuck her on Water's Origin because I just wanted to see if I could do it without a damage artifact, and lo and behold, she actually does it. Once you got this set up, of course, make sure you've got your pet. You don't want to miss out on getting the extra gear and everything from pet. And then press start, hit confirm, and leave it on auto. It doesn't matter whose skills are on or off because everybody should get burns round 1. If Ronvald or Jenna don't get a burn, restart because you want them to die. So make sure everybody gets burned so they can die first round. You don't want them to attack and take a hit off of the boss. It can mess with things. That's really the only thing you have to watch for, is making sure that they all get burns, and then just watch Fene fly through this. Now you will die right about here, right about the 75% mark. You will take your first death, but that's okay. It's the last time you'll die in this, trust. Don't freak out when it happens. It's expected. Okay, Fene chewing through it. We're already down below the 50% mark. Getting ready to go across the next threshold here. There we go. Last threshold crossed. Hit and break the barrier. Just like that, you're done with fire using just Fene. All right, the next fight is going to be Herais. For Herais, we're going to use Carrot and then 3 Soul Weavers. I'm going to put Mascot Hazel in front because I've got Hazel on Prophetic Candlestick. That'll help cycle her big healing skills. Her S1 doesn't heal, and I'd like her to use as little as possible. Run her fast, give her some bulk, and that's all you need. 247 speeds where I have mine. You can go a little slower than that, but she doesn't need anything else. No effect res, no effectiveness, crit chance, crit damage, nothing. Just stack some HP and some speed on her. Next is Tamara. It's just a generic run-of-the-mill Tamara, and the effect resistance is not required. I've got her on Magahara's Tome to help cycle her faster. 220-ish speed, a little bit of bulk to stay alive. That's it. Again, don't worry about the effectiveness or effect resistance. And Fire Hades. Again, you don't have to worry about the effectiveness or the effect resistance. I've got her at 215 speed, a little bulk, a little more HP would be better. Her heals do scale off of her HP, but it's fine. I didn't want to go nuts on her gear. I slapped her on Magahara's Tome as well to help cycle her skills even faster, and that's it. And our 3 healers are here to take care of our carrot. Now, if you are running this and you are failing, it is because your carrot is not tanky enough. Make sure you've got enough bulk on your carrot to survive. I've got her at 1400 defense by 10,000 HP. You could run her on 1200 defense and 14k HP. You sort this however you want. Just if you die, increase your bulk. I've got her at 219 speed to cycle her. Now, if you are struggling with surviving, you can also change her artifact out for Proof of Valor. Proof of Valor gives you 30% damage reduction out of the gate, and it does go down 15%, eventually becoming worse than her own innate damage reduction. But the nice thing about Proof of Valor is it gives you 988 health. You can look for any artifact that does this, but Chatty, I think, is probably her best in slot. Although she does proc a barrier, this is an additional chance for a barrier to proc. The barrier is proportional to her attack, which is a pretty fat barrier. It's a 4,500 health barrier, and it's just an added layer of survivability. And that's it. Oh, and make sure she's got a little bit of attack. You don't have to be 4,500, but try to be north of 4,000. So when you're building your carrot, focus 4,000 attack, get above 200 speed, and then pump the rest into bulk, and you should be good to go. Again, make sure your Constellation pet is equipped and press go. Everybody's skills are going to be on for this fight, and just sit back and enjoy the show. With Herais, the whole goal is living towards till the end. You don't actually have to kill Herais, you just have to survive Herais. So we need to survive 7 rounds of him attacking. Carrots burns, pop the mushrooms out, and she starts putting burns onto Herais, keeping that constellation symbol low. The attack down is a nice little bonus that we get from Fire Hades. The plants are back, taking some hits. You can see that Chatty barrier procced on Carrot. She is well protected. Okay, it takes a minute, but we finally got there. 1 turn left on the bar. Herais drops his big bomb. Chatty Berry keeps us alive, and we are out of this phase. Full auto. Done and done. Last, we're going to go into Aquina, the hardest one to full auto, but like I said, if you have got your Virgo up to 2 stars, you will be able to do it with this team without stupid high-end gear. So here we go. We're going to run Rowana. Rowana is just on 6 pieces of gear. It really doesn't matter. If you want to put your Rowana on a counter set, it makes this even cleaner. There are better artifacts than Stella Harpa, but this is my normal everyday use Rowana, and I didn't want to change her up for this fight. Next, we're going to go with Fenris. This is my normal Fenris that I use in expeditions. You could give him a different artifact or clean his build up a little bit if you want, but he is already pretty well built for damage. You don't have to go this nuts on damage, but every little bit helps. You're going to see I'm going to over damage the hell out of it. So if you can't quite build this stat line, that is fine. And we're going to run Vivian. Again, Vivian is hyper over damage for this. So if you can't quite hit this stat line, that's fine. You can run her on any artifact. I like Time Matter because the cycles are S2, but that's mostly for other PV instances. You do want to have her on her number 2 exclusive equipment so she gets the CR push. Mostly you're just building for some damage. As much damage you can stuff on Vivian. And finally, the Thief in the front row. Remember, the zodiac sign for the Thief in the front row is going to be Ervelyn. Ervelyn does not need this artifact. He is already going to be countering plenty with his counterattack buff. So all this is there as far as a little bit of evasion, and any artifact, really any artifact would be better on Ervelyn. Put him on a damage artifact, put him on the symbol of unity, something to help him do some damage. That's how we're going to run Ervelyn. One last time for the people in the back, make sure your pet is equipped and press go. For this one, everybody's skills are on as well. Vivian cycling the immunities and the attack buffs is huge for this fight. And Rowana keeps everybody healthy with all the extra hits that come in. So for all of you out there who said, what if I don't have Charles? Here you go. Now, if you don't have Ervelyn, then go check out one of the videos linked in the description for other ways to beat this fight, just not on full auto. Ervelyn's constant upkeep of the counterattack buff is what is so good in this fight. Also, the additional damage he gets as a thief in the front row. It is pretty clear that Smilegate said, hey, we need to give Ervelyn a job, and this is it. All right, guys, looks like we have done it on full auto. Aquina is dead. So there you go. There's your full auto team for red, for green, and for blue. Hopefully this helps you guys clean through this a little bit easier. It's going to take a lot of the burden off of doing Trial of the Constellations every single month. Now you only have to manual light and dark, which is fully covered in the Nightmare guides linked in the description below. Something important I want to cover before you go and take the 600 currency and you go over to the shop and you start eyeballing this juicy gear, because this gear is juicy, and you're like, oh man, this could be the sword, this could be this could be my 25 speeder. Before you go spending 500 currency on this only to have it like triple min roll 4s into effectiveness, instead, don't go for this bait. You will get gear from so many places in this game. This gear, while good, and while I'm sure there will be people in the comment section be like, I got some banger, Tristen, you're being crazy. Don't get this gear. Every single person in this game comes to me saying the same thing. Where do I get charms? Where do I get Molagora? What do I do about the fact that I can't level gear? Well, here you go. Instead, you come in here, you buy your charms every single day until you're out of currency. And if you are starved for Molagora, you grab the Mola too. I'm actually okay on Mola, but most people aren't. And then you come back tomorrow and you buy it again. And then you come back tomorrow and you buy it again. You will get so many charms from this. You'll be able to level so many pieces of gear that will outstrip the one piece of gear you get from this, and then you can't level anything else. So that's my take on this. I think the charms here way surpass this gear. Just my 2 cents. You guys do what you do. Now, one last thing is the Blessing of the Stars. I want to explain to you how the point system works, because there's some people that still don't quite understand how the point system works. You see, we got 860 points on Navy Captain Landy because her gear score is not that great. She has got a plus 27 artifact, and her average gear score is only 94. And out of that, we get 860 points. I want you guys to check this out. If you put her on a plus 30 artifact, and it doesn't matter if it's a free artifact, if it's a level 5 artifact, if it's a level 2 artifact, whatever level the artifact is, as long as it is plus 30, it will score higher. Now we're up to 866. Just a little bit of a nudge, but you get more out of a plus 30 artifact. So make sure all the units that are in your Blessing of the Stars are wearing plus 30 artifacts. Second thing is that's counted is the awakenings. Make sure that your unit is 6-star fully awakened. If you're not fully awakened, you will not get max points. Make sure you're also a 6-star unit. It doesn't matter if you are a 6-star 5-star base unit, you could be a 3-star unit. For example, if you go check out my Sagittarius, here is a carrot. It's a 3-star unit, but she is bringing a ton of points. Look at this. From 4485, this carrot's taking me up to 6323. A 3-star base unit. The base doesn't matter, only the fact that they are 6-star, max awakened with a maxed artifact. So those are 3 of the 4 things that you want. 6 stars, maxed awakened, and with a max level artifact. The last thing that matters is the gear. So while this Landy is pretty well appointed for a Landy, the Constellation system doesn't care about how well the unit is geared. It cares about the gear score of the individual pieces. Sets don't matter. Bonuses from sets don't matter. Just the gear score. Allow me to show you. We'll go into manage equipment and we're going to sort by equipment score, putting my highest gear score pieces up front. And I'm just going to randomly take the highest gear score pieces off of my account. Not caring about sets or anything. Isn't this the most horrifying looking Landy you have ever seen? Not functional in any way, shape, or form, not even a set. But now her average gear score is 106. I used all of my highest gear score stuff. Now check it out. We go from 866 points to 941 points. So that's how you can min-max the points. Make sure the units you have up here are units that you aren't using, right? Maybe I use Chaos Inquisitor and put that gear on him because I do use Landy, but I don't use Chaos Inquisitor. My Chaos Inquisitor is only 5-star though. I will need to level him up and 6-star him. So maybe instead I use Victorica. I don't use her anywhere. She's 6-star max awakened. I will give her a max artifact. I will give her the highest gear score gear. Check it out. We go with any random plus 30 artifact, and then I'm going to give her the gear Landy was wearing. The exact same gear. $941 points, just like Landy. So maybe that will help you guys out filling out your Blessing of the Stars. It is all gear score, max artifact, max awaken, and 6-star. And you can load up your Blessings of the Stars and get all of the bonus points that you need to make life a lot easier when you do these fights. And that's it, guys. If you have any questions, ask them in the comment section. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And hey, if any of you guys figures out how to do full auto and light and dark, let me know, because it's killing me over here. Take care, everybody.